Turning now to your community focus, the COVID public health emergency comes to an end this week. So where do we go from here, and how much is actually going to change? Joining me now live via Zoom, Dr. Ashish Jha, the White House COVID-19 response coordinator. Dr. Jha, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me here.
So let's start, Dr. Jha, if you will. Thursday marks the end of the COVID-19 public health emergency, both on the federal level and here in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. What is the biggest change that the average person is going to notice?
Yeah, so let's just take a step back. I mean, when the president came in, he made a very clear commitment that we were going to use science and evidence to drive a policy that protected Americans from COVID-19. That commitment does not change with the end of the public health emergency. And if you think about all the things that have been so beneficial over the last couple of years, vaccines, testing, treatments, all of those will remain, and they will remain widely accessible to Rhode Islanders, to people from Massachusetts, from across the country after the public health emergency ends. So most Americans will not notice major changes after the public health emergency comes to an end.
Now, of course, we are expecting the president to sort of disband his team that exists right now that's been put together to respond to the COVID epidemic. Politico reported that you plan to resign at the end of this month. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so first of all, COVID response team is going to be ending soon, and we don't have an exact date. We're also in the middle of standing up a new Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response inside the White House. And, you know, in terms of my plans, when I have more to share about that, I will. But right now, I'm really focused on making sure that we bring this public health emergency to a close and that we make this transition as smoothly and effectively as possible.
Now, folks might remember, of course, that when you took this job, you were the dean of Brown's School of Public Health. And at the time, the school said you'd just sort of be taking a short-term leave. It's been more than a year. So is your plan still to come back to Brown when you do leave the White House?
So I am on leave from Brown, and all I can say is when I am ready to share more about my future plans, I will be delighted to do that, Kim. But right now, I'm really just focused on getting us through the next period of time, making sure we get through this public health emergency coming to a close, and that we have a smooth transition.
Fair enough. So we've been talking sort of about the end of this public health emergency. I want to go back to the beginning. Let's talk about the origins of COVID. There's two theories, a lab leak or something that maybe happened more naturally at a wet market. Do you think we're ever going to get the truth about where this virus came from?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think it's really important that we do get that truth. Look, this has been a devastating pandemic. More than 1 million Americans have died. More than 20 million people around the world have died. The world, I think, deserves to know what the origins are. And the president has been very clear on this. The administration continues to work on gathering information and trying to sort out where the virus began. I think it is critical, and I remain hopeful that we will be able to get that information and get to a point where we will know what the right answer is.
And Dr. Jha, we've got less than a minute left, but when you stop and sort of take stock about what's happened over the last 3 years, and there's certainly been a lot, what do you think is the single biggest lesson that we've learned as a country?
Well, first of all, I would say it has been an extraordinary 3 years. I mean, think about where we were 3 years ago compared to where we are today. It is a reminder of the importance of public health, that when you follow science and you use science to drive public health, you get people vaccinated, you use treatments, you make testing widely available, that you really can make a big difference in challenges like COVID or future challenges ahead of us. It's one of the reasons why I have been in public health all my life, why I love public health, is that it is a phenomenal tool for making people's lives better. You've got to really put the energy and attention to making sure you do it well. And it is very helpful to have a president and have political leaders who back the science and evidence of getting it done right.
All right. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today, but we appreciate your time. White House COVID-19 response coordinator, Dr. Ashish Jha, thanks for being here at 4.
Thank you.